a graphics card cooking itself at 107 degrees, and Nvidia quietly hiding the sensor that would tell you about it. That's how this week ended. So let me back up and give you everything that happened in gaming and PC hardware, story by story, with what it actually means for you. First up, the freebie, because we start on good news before the bills arrive. Tattoo Tycoon is the current weekly free game on the Epic Games Store, yours to claim at zero cost for a limited time. My take? Epic's free games are the most reliable habit in PC gaming, and a Tycoon sim about ink is exactly the kind of oddball you'd never buy, but will happily sink 4 hours into. Claim it, forget it, thank me later. Speaking of things Microsoft would rather you forget you own. Next, a Brazilian gamer had his Microsoft account compromised and lost his entire digital library. Microsoft's genius solution was to tell him to just buy all his games again. A Brazilian court disagreed, ordering Microsoft to fully restore the account and library and pay the man $400 in damages. Honestly, $400 is a slap on the wrist for a company this size. But the principle is the loud part. In consumer protection-strong countries, you don't really own your digital games is a legal liability, not just a forum complaint, which makes Microsoft's next move very interesting timing. Because Microsoft's disk-to-digital system, codenamed Project Positron, could launch as early as the week of July 14th. Speculation kicked off when the usual Xbox Insider update missed its schedule, breaking Xbox CEO Asha Sharma's promised bi-weekly cadence. Insider boss Brad Rossetti teased it'd be worth the wait, and journalist Jez Corden simply said, "Positron cometh." Here's how it works. You slot an eligible Xbox One or Series X disc in and get a permanent digital entitlement on your account. Xbox 360 and original Xbox discs are out. And crucially, if you sell or lend that disc and someone activates it on another account, the license transfers automatically, so the secondhand market survives. That last detail is the part I genuinely respect, because it's the opposite of the account-locked greed we just watched lose in court. It also sets up the next-gen console, codenamed Project Helix, which may ship with no disk drive at all. For context, Sony stopped supporting physical PlayStation discs from January 2028, so the disc era is quietly being buried by both sides. Next, something far cheaper and far weirder. The Nintendo talking flower, that chatty toy from Super Mario Bros. Wonder, dropped from $34.99 to $29.99 at Amazon and Walmart. It's got a built-in thermometer, comments on the time and temperature, has no microphone and no internet, and speaks multiple languages. My favorite, absurd detail. It asks about your sleep schedule, but unlike Nintendo's $110 Alarmo clock, it cannot actually be an alarm. A $5 discount on a flower that judges your bedtime and does nothing about it. Peak Nintendo. Now the one that stings. Nvidia removed public access to the hotspot temperature sensor on its RTX 50 series Blackwell cards in standard monitoring tools. The sensor still exists, but only reads through Nvidia's internal mods diagnostic tool, which you can't get. And data pulled from mods caught an RTX 5070 Ti throttling at 107 degrees, traced to sloppy thermal paste application at the factory. I'll say the quiet part plainly. Hiding the single most useful thermal reading right when a paste quality problem shows up looks less like an accident and more like damage control. And Nvidia's fingerprints are on more than just your GPU this week. Next, a financial deep dive from analyst Beth Kindig at IO Fund flags what she calls circular financing. AI neocloud firms, CoreWeave and Nebius, have each locked in 3.5 gigawatts of contracted power, yet neither is profitable, and both carry soaring debt. The catch is, who's propping them up? Nvidia invests in and backstops the very companies buying its GPUs by the truckload. My read is simple. When a chipmaker funds its own customers to keep buying its chips, that's not demand. That's a loop, and loops eventually unwind. And finally, some genuinely good news for PC gaming. Steam posted roughly $11.1 billion in gross revenue in the first half of 2026, its biggest ever 6 months, according to market analysts cited by PC Gamer. Even with consoles and mobile booming, the PC isn't just surviving, it's setting records. That's the platform we're all standing on, and it's healthier than ever. That's your week. A court win for digital ownership, a flower that won't wake you up, and a GPU running hot enough to fry an egg. If you want this every day instead of once a week, subscribe to Rig Radar for daily PC and gaming news.